Hi guys, it's Lisa and welcome back to my channel Simple Russian with Lisa. Today is going to be a lesson for you, and a lot of people ask me, a lot of students of mine, they ask me, oh, can you do cases? Can you explain cases better so we all understand why we need it in Russian language? So here we go. This video is going to be about cases. So first of all, why do we need cases in Russian language? In English, for example, you have a strict word order, right? But in Russian, you can switch words as you want. For example, simple phrase I love you in English is always I love you, but in Russian we can put you love you I, etc. And it still makes sense. That's why we need cases, because cases shows us the logical relation. So how many cases Russian language have? We have 6 cases. So I was trying to use the board. I'm not sure if you can see this. But yeah, we have nominative case, accusative case, dative case, instrumental, genitive, and prepositional case. In today's video, I'm going to explain about each case, and I'm going to tell you the main question words that we use, the main examples of these cases, and what are the link words. So if you see these words in the sentence, you surely understand, okay, this is that case or this is another case. Let's start with my favorite case, the easiest one, the favorite of all the students, nominative case. Nominative case answers to the questions кто, что, which is who or what. What is the function? The subject of the sentence performing the action. Or also naming the things, or like dictionary form of nouns. Let's talk about some examples here. Это книга. This is a book. That's it. There is no action going on in here. There is no like extra words around. It's just a simple sentence. This is a book. A book in a nominative case, we don't need to do any changes here, just naming the objects. Nominative case. Another example, мальчик читает. The boy is reading. Who is performing the action here? Мальчик. Мальчик, nominative case, no changes here because this is how it is. Nominative case is a simple form of the word, is the dictionary form of the word. And again, our questions кто, что. Who is reading? Кто читает? Мальчик. Nominative. So next case is accusative case. What is the function? The direct object who or what receives the action. Our main questions кого, что, whom or what. Let's talk about some of the examples here. Я читаю книгу. Я читаю книгу. Our accusative case here for книгу, our direct object that receives the action. I'm the person who is doing that, and I'm doing it to the book. My book receives the action because I'm reading it. So the book receives the action. The book is an accusative case. Next example. Он пьет воду. He drinks water. Again, the main subject is on, he, but the object that receives the action is water. That's why water is an accusative case. Another example of accusative case is when you're going to a place. With verbs of motion, our place becomes accusative case as well. Some of the examples. Я иду в школу. I'm going to school. The school, you're going there, it's verb of motion. It's kind of like receiving the action as well, right? Because you're going to this place. You're not there yet, you're just going there. This word is an accusative case. Or, for example, она идет в театр. She goes to the theater. Again, going to a place with verbs of motion, our place, our word becomes accusative case. In this case, театр is a masculine word. That's why we don't need to do any changes here. No changes of the ending. The word stays as it is. Unless like школа, the original word for the school is школа, and in accusative case we know that the last letter A becomes U. But we're going to talk about the endings a little bit later. Other examples of accusative case is days of the week. Whenever we want to say on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday I'm doing this and that, it's accusative case. Our example, у меня есть урок, I have a lesson, and then we're talking about time. So, в среду, on Wednesday. The original word for Wednesday is среда, but when you want to say on Wednesday, we say в среду. So we change our last letter A to U. В пятницу, on Friday, в субботу, on Saturday. The rest days of the week are like staying the same because they're not feminine. Like if you want to say on Monday, that would be в понедельник, во вторник, etc. So another usage of accusative case is time, days of the week. Next case we're going to talk about is dative case. What is the function? The indirect object to whom, for what, something is done. Our questions: кому, чему, to whom, for what. Let's talk about the examples here. Я даю книгу другу. I give a book to a friend. So in this case, our word книгу is accusative case, right? Because you're giving this book to someone else. So receiving our object is friend. So другу is in dative case. Another example, мне холодно. Literally, to me, it is cold. So whenever you want to talk about your like physical statement, I'm cold, I'm bored, I'm interested, we say мне холодно, мне интересно, мне скучно. Dative case. So used for giving something to someone, saying something to someone, expressing feelings and states, as well as we use it for the age, likes, dislikes, and need. I'm going to give you some examples. So, мне 25 лет, тебе 25 лет, ей, ему 25 лет, им, нам, вам. All of this is dative case. So we use dative case when we're talking about age. As well as likes, dislikes. Мне нравится, тебе нравится. All of this we use as a dative case as well. So likes, dislikes, our preferences, age, also need. Мне нужно, тебе нужно, ему нужно, and etc. This is dative case. This case we're going to talk about is instrumental case and what is the function of instrumental case. With something, by means of something. Question: with whom, with what? С кем, с чем. And what is the meaning? Let's talk about some examples here. First of all, of course, is a companionship. So we have example: с другом, with a friend. С подругой, with a female friend. So as you can see, talking about the companionship, we usually have our instrumental case word after preposition with. So if you have a preposition with, most probably after that is going to be instrumental case. Another example is an instrument, by means of something, right? So писать ручкой, to write with the pen. Another one, when we're talking about the professions, for example, I want to be a teacher, I want to become an engineer. These professions most probably going to be in instrumental case. Let me tell you example. Я хочу стать учителем. I want to become a teacher. Она хочет быть актрисой. She wants to be an actress. Not only companionship in here, but also talking about food, like we usually say, what is this pie with, or what is this cake with. So с чем этот торт, с чем этот пирог, what is this pie with, what is this cake with. So for example, это торт с шоколадом, это кофе с молоком, this coffee is with milk. So, с молоком, с шоколадом, our example of instrumental case. Not only all these, but also after some verbs, for example, наслаждаться, to enjoy. After this one, we use an instrumental case. Or to be proud of someone, гордиться. After гордиться, we also use instrumental case. So I'm going to provide a group of verbs after which ones we use instrumental case. Next case we're going to talk about is prepositional case. What is the function of prepositional case? Talks about allocation or a topic. Questions about what, about whom, where. О ком, о чем, где. What is the easy part for this case? It's used only with prepositions, such as в, на, о, об. Now we're going to talk about that. Some examples. В школе, at school, in a school. So when you are already there, like I'm studying at school, I'm working at school, not going to school, right? Because remember, verbs of motion is an accusative case, so just doing something in the place. В школе. it's prepositional case. Also, if you want to say книга на столе, the book is on the table, showing location. Again, prepositional case, we have our letter ye by the end. Another one, о or об, which is about. If you want to say говорить о проблеме, to speak about problem, говорить об уроке, to speak about lesson. So this is going to be prepositional case. That's why it's called prepositional, because there is preposition involved, right? Another preposition, при, which is really tricky. It can be translated like when something exists with something else in the context of, under the rule of, or at and near. Some of the examples. При СССР это было иначе. In the Soviet era, that was different. При детях так не говорят. Shouldn't say that around children. При мне этого не говорили. They didn't say this in my presence. And now let's get to the genitive case. Last but not the least, what is the function? Shows possession, quantity, absence. Questions. Of whom, of what? Кого, чего? Some examples here. Книга сестры. Book of a sister. Sister's book. So, of sister is genitive case. Shows possession. Next example. У меня нет времени. Времени, genitive case. We don't have it. We don't have time. So, this is in genitive case. Absence. Talking about quantity, like много, мало, a lot, a few, several. After numbers, this is all genitive case. Also, after some prepositions such as без, without, после, after, для, for, около, around, is, from, у, like у меня есть. We can say у сестры есть книга. After у, genitive case. I tend to believe that the genitive case is the hardest case in Russian language because it's just, I don't know, it's used literally in every single sentence. Maybe that's why it will be easy to remember because we use it all the time. Let me give you more examples of a genitive case. For example, example of absence I was talking about before. For example, I don't have money. У меня нет денег. I don't have money. This is absence, genitive case. Also, if I want to make it not present, but past tense, у меня не было денег. It's still genitive case because I didn't have it in the past as well. And of course, future, у меня не будет денег. I will not have money. I hope that's not true, just an example. Also genitive case because it shows also absence in the future. Also, kind of like after comparison, if you want to say больше or меньше, например, for example, я хочу больше времени. I want more time. Genitive case. Or if you want to say я хочу меньше времени. I want less time. So that's also genitive case. So after the word больше, меньше, много, мало, несколько, several, like несколько яблок, несколько телефонов. Genitive case. Also, when you want to ask a question, like after question word сколько, which is how much, how many, you also use genitive case because it's all about quantity, like сколько яблок вы хотите, сколько апельсинов вы хотите. Genitive case. This is it. I think that was all the cases we have to learn. So that was the usage and yeah, pretty much where we use this case or another case. So yeah, next time I want to make a video about the endings, how we change the words when we find out the case. So yeah, I think here first we have to understand where we use this case or another case. So understand the usage, right, to understand how it works and then to change the endings. And trust me, of course it's hard to memorize all the endings and how we need to change the word, but as long as you understand when you use this case or another case, then it will be easier for you. Because if you're just gonna memorize all the, you know, all the endings, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult to use it when you speak. So yeah, these are the cases, and I want to make a next video about the endings, how we change these words, and what is the rule about that. But first, let's understand the usage. This is it. I hope you really like this video, and yeah, Please let me know in the comment sections what topic you want to cover more, or if you have any questions about cases. I'm gonna be happy to answer and to reply each and every one of you. So yes, thank you so much. Пока-пока.